Have you ever walked into a room and felt like you could instantly tell who the sharpest minds were? Or wished you possessed that subtle aura of intellect that seems to draw people in? It's a fascinating observation, isn't it? That certain behaviors don't just reflect intelligence, but actively project it, making you appear more thoughtful, insightful, and undeniably smarter to those around you. This isn't about faking it till you make it, but rather cultivating practices that naturally enhance your cognitive presence and communication. If you're ready to unlock these powerful habits and present your most intelligent self to the world, then you're in the right place. By the end of this, you'll feel empowered with practical strategies that make a real difference. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss out on more transformative lessons designed to help you thrive. 1. The art of active listening. Beyond just hearing. We often think of intelligence as what we say, but true wisdom frequently lies in how we listen. Active listening is more than just waiting for your turn to speak. It's a profound engagement with another person's thoughts, feelings, and intentions. Psychologically, when you truly listen, you're not just absorbing words, you're processing nuances, understanding underlying emotions, and synthesizing information. This makes your responses incredibly relevant and insightful, showcasing a deeper level of understanding. Think about it. How many times have you been in a conversation where someone was clearly just formulating their reply rather than truly hearing you? It feels dismissive, and it certainly doesn't project intelligence. From a Stoic perspective, active listening is an exercise in virtue. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of controlling our perceptions and judgments. When you actively listen, you are intentionally suspending your own internal monologue, your biases, and your preconceptions to give full attention to the speaker. This requires self-discipline and humility, virtues that are inherently intelligent. It's about being present in the moment rather than being distracted by past regrets or future anxieties. By truly listening, you are collecting data, not just passively receiving it. This allows you to formulate responses that are not only accurate, but also empathetic and well-considered. It shows you value the other person's input, which in turn makes them value yours. When you reflect back what you've heard, ask clarifying questions, and build upon their points, you demonstrate a sophisticated cognitive process. You're showing that you're not just smart, but also wise, capable of understanding complex ideas and integrating them into a broader perspective. This habit instantly elevates your perceived intelligence because it speaks volumes about your respect, patience, and analytical capabilities. 2. Asking thought-provoking questions. The Socratic method in action. Asking insightful questions is perhaps one of the most underrated habits of intelligent individuals. It's a habit that instantly shifts the dynamic of any conversation, transforming it from a simple exchange of information into a deeper exploration of ideas. Psychologically, when you ask a truly thought-provoking question, you signal several things. You're not afraid to admit when you don't know something, which ironically is a sign of intelligence. You're critically engaged with the topic, and you're seeking to understand beyond the surface level. People often associate intelligence with having all the answers, but true intellectual prowess lies in formulating the right questions that unlock new perspectives and deeper insights. The Socratic method, named after the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates, is essentially the art of asking a series of questions to challenge assumptions, expose contradictions, and guide someone towards a deeper understanding of a topic. This isn't about trapping someone, but about intellectual exploration. From a Stoic viewpoint, this habit aligns beautifully with the pursuit of wisdom. Stoics believed in examining our own judgments and beliefs critically. When you ask probing questions, you're not only helping others scrutinize their ideas, but you're also refining your own understanding. Seneca, another influential Stoic, spoke about the importance of reason and the constant pursuit of knowledge. Asking questions is a direct embodiment of this pursuit. It demonstrates intellectual curiosity, a key trait of intelligent people. Instead of passively accepting information, you're actively seeking to deconstruct it, understand its foundations, and explore its implications. This shows a mind that is engaged, analytical, and eager to learn, rather than simply regurgitate. When you pose a question that makes others pause and think, you instantly appear more intelligent because you've demonstrated a capacity to see beyond the obvious and stimulate intellectual discourse. 3. Embracing silence and pauses. The power of deliberation. In a world that often values speed and constant chatter, the habit of embracing silence and thoughtful pauses can make you instantly stand out as someone who thinks deeply. Psychologically, when you take a moment before responding, you communicate several powerful messages. You're not impulsive, you're carefully considering your words, and you value precision over immediate gratification. This deliberate approach signals that your contributions are well weighed and therefore more valuable. Rushing to fill every silence can often lead to half-formed thoughts or unnecessary chatter, which detracts from perceived intelligence. A pause, on the other hand, creates anticipation and implies that something meaningful is about to be said. From a Stoic perspective, embracing silence is a powerful form of self-mastery and mindfulness. Stoicism teaches us the importance of controlling our impulses and not being swayed by external pressures. The urge to speak immediately, to fill a void, can be an impulse driven by discomfort or a desire to prove oneself. By consciously choosing a pause, you are exercising control over this impulse. You are giving your rational faculty the time it needs to process information, consider various angles, and formulate the most effective response. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, often wrote about the importance of deliberate thought and self-reflection. A pause is a miniature act of self-reflection in real time. It shows that you are not simply reacting, but thoughtfully responding. It also allows you to manage your emotions better, ensuring that your communication is guided by reason rather than fleeting feelings. This habit not only makes your responses more coherent and impactful, but also projects an aura of calmness and considered judgment. People subconsciously associate this deliberateness with a deeper intellect, as if you are accessing a richer reservoir of thought before speaking. 4. The humble pursuit of knowledge. Admitting what you don't know. One of the most profound habits that instantly makes you look smarter is the genuine willingness to admit what you don't know. Psychologically, this might seem counterintuitive at first glance. We're often taught to project confidence and expertise. However, true intellectual confidence comes not from knowing everything, but from being secure enough to acknowledge the limits of your knowledge. This signals intellectual honesty and an open mind, both hallmarks of a genuinely intelligent person. When you confidently state, "That's an interesting point. I actually don't know much about that. Could you explain more?" You invite deeper conversation and demonstrate a desire to learn, rather than to posture. From a Stoic perspective, humility in the face of knowledge is a core virtue. Socrates famously said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." The Stoics believed in the continuous pursuit of wisdom and saw intellectual arrogance as a significant impediment to growth. Seneca often wrote about the importance of lifelong learning and the danger of assuming one has arrived at perfect knowledge. When you admit what you don't know, you are essentially opening yourself up to new information and challenging your existing mental models. This isn't a sign of weakness. It's a testament to your intellectual strength and curiosity. It shows that your ego is not tied to being right all the time, but rather to the genuine acquisition of understanding. Furthermore, it builds trust and rapport with others as they see you as authentic and approachable, rather than someone who is trying to impress or mislead. This habit instantly elevates your perceived intelligence because it indicates a growth mindset, a profound respect for truth, and the maturity to prioritize learning over appearing infallible. It tells people you're not just smart, but truly wise. 5. Explaining complex ideas. Simply, the mark of true understanding. The ability to take complex information and distill it into simple, understandable terms is a hallmark of genuine intelligence. Psychologically, when someone can clearly articulate a sophisticated concept without resorting to jargon or overcomplication, it signals a deep mastery of the subject matter. It shows that they don't just memorize facts, but truly understand the underlying principles and can translate them for a diverse audience. Conversely, using overly complex language or technical jargon when simpler terms would suffice often comes across as an attempt to obscure a lack of understanding, or worse, to impress rather than inform. True intelligence seeks to clarify, not to confuse. From a Stoic perspective, this habit aligns with the pursuit of clarity in thought and communication. Stoicism emphasizes living in accordance with nature and reason, and part of that involves clear, effective communication. Marcus Aurelius spoke about the importance of seeing things for what they truly are, stripped of extraneous details. When you simplify a complex idea, you are essentially performing this stripping away process. You are getting to the essence of the matter, which requires a highly organized and logical mind. It's an exercise in intellectual discipline to identify the core components, structure them logically, and present them in an accessible way. This isn't about dumbing down content, it's about elevating understanding. It demonstrates an ability to think systematically, to identify the most crucial elements, and to empathize with the listener's potential lack of prior knowledge. This habit instantly makes you look smarter because it shows you're not just intelligent, but also a skilled communicator and a natural educator, someone who can empower others with knowledge rather than just hoard it. 6. Practicing intellectual humility, prioritizing truth over being right. The final habit that instantly makes you look smarter is practicing intellectual humility, the willingness to change your mind in the face of new evidence or a more convincing argument. Psychologically, this is incredibly powerful because it demonstrates a mind that is open, adaptable, and genuinely dedicated to truth rather than ego or stubbornness. When someone is dogmatic or rigidly adheres to their initial stance, even when presented with compelling counter-arguments, it can come across as closed-mindedness, which is the antithesis of intelligence. A person who can say, that's a very valid point I hadn't considered, and it's making me rethink my position, projects immense intellectual strength and security. From a Stoic standpoint, intellectual humility is absolutely fundamental. Stoicism teaches us to constantly scrutinize our judgments, prohairesis, and to recognize that our perceptions are often incomplete or flawed. Epictetus often reminded his students that it's not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Holding on to a belief simply because it's your belief, despite evidence to the contrary, is a failure of reason. It's allowing ego to override the pursuit of truth. The Stoics believed in living rationally, and rationality demands that we update our beliefs when presented with better information. This habit shows that you value truth and logical consistency above the need to win an argument or save face. It demonstrates a secure sense of self, one that isn't threatened by being wrong, but rather sees it as an opportunity for growth and a deeper understanding of the world. This instantly elevates your perceived intelligence because it signifies a profound intellectual maturity, a genuine commitment to learning, and the courage to adapt your worldview traits that are undeniably associated with true wisdom.